Greetings from the Erie Coast. This is Mad Shad. What are we going to talk about today? I wanted to talk about Australia. Yes. You guys may or may not know what's going on in Australia. Think North Korea on steroids. A complete police state. Complete totalitarian, jackbooted thugs forcing their way into your home because you were online looking at something, making a comment. Vaccine passports, lockdowns, complete harassment by the police, getting beat by the police, getting arrested by the police for merely going outside. There are roughly 29, 30 million people in Australia. And the police force, let's talk about that for a minute. Why is the police, their own police, doing this? Why? Why are they doing this? This has been in the works for a long time. It's funny, I was there in 95 for an operation called Kangaroo 95. It was a joint training operation where the Marine Corps and the Australian Army got together, and they did like this. It was a dog and pony show, but it was a conglomeration to see if they could protect Australia with some help against a Asian foreign invader. Yeah, this was back in 95. It's also where I have my crocodile stories. That time in Australia that I spent there in Cairns, Townsville, Weipa, Corunda, Queensland, I was in Queensland. Never went anywhere else. I went, that was with the Marine Corps. I went other places by myself because we had some really good libo. It was great. Gone for a week at a time. Got to tour inland. Got to go to Papua New Guinea. PNG Gold. Wow. But it was such a great time, such a great people. It was like the song, you know. I come from the land of down under, where, you know, it was great. It was great, and it was at a time in the 90s when people were, you know, great food, great drink. There was some fighting. There was some epic fights. And but you know, with you know, the Marines, everybody wants to fight with the Marines. Everybody, you know. And this was kind of a, you know, fisticuffs kind of thing, you know. And it was an honorable thing. We did have a guy that got his head smashed in a bar fight, but it wasn't Australians that did it. It was some other groups that were there. But there, you know, at the time it was just, but had a great time. I had a really great time. The people that I met were amazing. You know, the terms that we found no worries, mate. Should be all right. You know, that kind of thing. Want to root. You know, it was just great. It was great, and the camaraderie of in the hospitality over there. You know, a pack of cigarettes. Here we have pack of cigarettes has 20 cigarettes in it. Over there, they had packs of 50 and 100, because you get this pack of cigarettes and you set it on the table so everybody can enjoy. It was that kind of place. You ask somebody for a cigarette, you ask somebody for a light, you ask anybody for anything, and they're going to be like, here you go. It was great. It was really a good time, and I really got to know and enjoy, and actually that was one of the greatest places I have ever been in all of the world. Was Australia, and to see it turn into this fascist, totalitarian dictatorship regime. So imagine the Third Reich and North Korea and China all wrapped all of it into one. How this happened? How did this happen? How did they convince the policing force and the upper echelon of government to do this? Well, you got to go back to a little document back in 2000 something. I should have wrote this stuff down. Yeah, that's my mind right there. That blank board right there. Operation Lockstep. Yeah, and I'm going to get a little conspiratorial here, but it bears repeating. And there is evidence to this. As a matter of fact, there's been a few people in the community, Rage in the Cage, Sage, they've all kind of hinted upon this, is that the Crown, the UK, I see, as I'm looking at the chessboard, the Risk, you guys ever played Risk? The chessboard of the world. They're taking all these other lesser countries, these third world countries, second world countries, and they're on lockdown. They're being total lockdown. They're being totally raped of their resources. All their freedoms are gone. You don't hear about this. You don't hear nothing about this, but it's happening. You can find it. Just got to look for it. The whole world is on lockdown. There are a few holdouts that have not consented, not complied. There are a lot of protests and demonstrations going on. Nothing violent as we would think of violence. But this is a world consortium against humanity. We don't see it. We do not see it. We're in a blackout. We're in a blackout, a social media blackout. Everything's being shut down. Hell, this might not even make it, but my other videos have made it through, so hey, whatever. Here I am. I gather a lot of intel from many sources, from Odyssey, from BitChute, from Rumble, from YouTube, from the Internet of Things, from the universe. I have friends in certain places that I still talk to, obviously. That's what happens when you travel the world. You make a few friends. But the things that are happening, and it's the Crown. It seems to be that the Crown, the Aukus, the Crown has totally taken over Australia, and they may or may not be in control of us. Yeah, us. U.S.A. They may or may not be pulling the strings here. But they do have ties here, don't they? Definitely Canada. Canada is definitely under the Crown control. We see that that Miss Hillary herself has been given chancellorship, and walking around in these. We see these people. They're showing these people, and they're letting us see it. This old world oligarchy with their robes and their little freaking things that they do, and kids and pedophilia and the satanic rituals, and that's kind of strange shit. Uh, you know, they love their rituals and their get-togethers, don't they? So all their symbolism. Well, we have symbolism too, don't we? Us free men and women of the world. But this is, make no mistake, this is a fight for the world. So you have the Aukus. I know I'm jumping around a lot, but I want to get this in. You have the Aukus. The Aukus is headed by the UK and supported by the USA and Australia. What is happening in these places? Now, Canada's on board. Canada is not even considered a country. It's considered the UK now. It's boom. It's the Queen, and she owns it, and those are all her subjects. So yeah, they're gonna make us like Canada. It's just gonna be the way it is. But they have our financial backing. They have our military backing. It's a righteous cause. Because, we're old friends, right? In the United States, UK, and Australia, we're old friends. We have been for quite some time. In every major conflict that America's been in, the UK and the Australians have been right there, right beside us, fighting along and dying with us as well. In every major conflict, and smaller ones too. So we've all traded information and training and equipment and knowledge and everything. So we've been doing that for a long time. Where do you think we got the Harrier? We got the Harrier from the UK. And then we took it and turned it into the F-22 and the F-35, which now they have. And now we're talking about, hey, let's have submarines that are patrolling and in tandem and in association with the UK and Australia. At which point, that's when China was like, oh, no, you no do that, or we're gonna bomb everybody. So China, make no mistake, China has the most nuclear weapons of anyone around. Seriously, I think they've lied. But the estimation is between 8 to 10,000 warheads, whereas we are the second with 6 to 8,000 that everybody knows of. There might be more or less. Russia being the third with about, 4 or 5,000, but they keep selling theirs. But so you have this triad, right? This trio of free men, right? Free men. But what's happening in these places? Australia, complete total lockdown, complete totalitarian regime. What happened in the UK? The exact same fucking thing. And you're not hearing about this. We're kind of facing it. They're kind of holding off on that because they know that if you poke the bear too much, the bear awakens and eats everything. So they know that. We are the bear. We're new to this game. We're 245 years old, so we're the rowdy younger brother of the family. Australia is the middle son who has been there, done that, and it's a little bit more calmer, a little bit more nicer. And obviously the UK are the pompous big brother that tells everybody what to do. Who's father? Yes, who is the father in this family, this world family? So we're a little rowdy. Just look at the statistics. look at our crime. Look at our, and that's not really a, a direct representation, but it shows our willingness to not conform and consent to authority. A lot of our crime here is more violent. Yeah, you could say that it's in direct correlation to cultural and economic groups, but the majority of crime is it does go the spectrum, and we've talked about this before. 70% of all police involved shootings are with people of this skin color. The rest are spread apart with black people and Hispanics and and other groups. So yeah, white folks, Florida man, still crazy. They're gonna come at you with a knife. Oh, there's 10 cops and they all got guns and they're 22 feet away. I've got a knife. I can take them all out. Yeah, that's a great idea. Pop, 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 pop. He gets ventilated and exits his meat suit and is escorted from this domain, from this plane of existence. So, I mean, what the fuck? Either that's just some good drugs or he's just completely fucking stupid, or both. But we see that we just don't. We got that idgaff in us, right? That idgaff, and it doesn't take much to get us there. Even as civilized and as nice as we are, we'll still get medieval, and paint some houses, paint the streets. So they know this. They know this, and that is a big problem, especially for our government, which our regime, our political regime, which is trying really, really hard to push their narrative and push this whole, new fucking world order bullshit. Gotta come up with a name of that. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that one. You guys got some suggestions? Please let me know for the who and all that. Because I'd be interested in calling them something else that they're not. Because so you have this triad, right? And they're trying to push. UK and Australia. Australia's going crazy. They're about this close to just just about ready to start lynching and having bonfires. So and the Australians are very, very nice, very, very nice. You see their interactions with their police. They've been, like I said, we're young at this. We've only been here 245 years. We're the rowdy young brother, that's ready to fight. What'd you call me? What'd you say about my mama? So Australians, cheers, mate. No worries. She'll be all right. Please and thank you. As the police are slamming mothers with kids on the ground, taking people away, walking up. I mean, just the atrocities. These jackbooted fucking thug cunts that call themselves Aussie police. It's very reminiscent of how our Leos used to be back in the day. And yeah, they used to be like that. They would just do what they want. And it took a special person to be a policeman, to be in a Leo. Yeah, there were some good ones, but there was a lot of bad ones. And many a movie was made by that. Matter of fact, there is some truth to police brutality. That is a dirty part of our past. Absolutely. But there was a moral line that even they could not cross. If given the chance, they would, when nobody was looking. If they could paint their own picture with no visible witnesses, they would do that. But over there, they just don't care. Cameras everywhere, and they're just walking up, just boom, hitting grandma right in the face, spraying her, knocking her down, spraying her with fucking pepper foam, in the face 2 or 3 times, walking up to, I seen this video, 2 ladies just sitting in the park on a park bench, old ladies, people that the Purple Hat Society, those kind of ladies, and they've got their they've got their mask on, they've got their little hats, and they got their Sunday best clothes on, their little big ass purse with another purse inside of it, and maybe a sandwich and maybe a drink, some hand wipes, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they're just sitting there on the park bench, and then all of a sudden they get surrounded by cops, and they're like, "You're under arrest." You're like, "What do you mean I'm under arrest? We're not doing anything. We're just sitting here." And out of nowhere, from behind, comes a cop and just goes pop right upside the back of their head. Why? Why would you fucking do that? Why would you fucking do that? Why would you just, as your back's turned, just boom? Because they're fucking cowards. And they're loving this power trip they have. Oh, yeah, we get to play fucking bad guy. We get to play tough guy. That infuriates me. That absolutely infuriates me. And it should. And it should infuriate all of you. So, the police, as I talked about, in 1995, whatever, I did this, thing with the Australians, Kangaroo 95. Fast forward years upon years, after the Operation Lockstep came out, which I believe was 2015. Yeah, look it up, Operation Lockstep. Yeah. So, these guys, the Australian Army, military, and the police force, which they don't have a police force like we do. Imagine their police force as being all feds. That's their police force. Everybody is federally controlled, government controlled from the top all the way down. They don't have sheriffs, they don't have constables, or if they do, it's whatever, But these guys carry guns, and they have all the training and all the gear. But before all this happened, for years, they've been going overseas and specifically learning riot control, population control, on how to deal with folks. And they were doing it, they were getting all this population control from Asian countries, Singapore, these rowdy Asian countries. They might even had some training in China, which China is one of the most highly trained riot control groups in the world. The way that they do their riot control is like, it looks like a dance. It's just flowing, and it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. You get a chance to watch some of their drills, do it. They will. That's all they know. That's their bread and butter. We too, dealt with riot control, but it was more along the lines of fixed bayonets and snatch and grabs, denying entry in a military setting, where they said you're not allowed to shoot anyone until that order is given, but it's okay to chink, bayonet slash somebody, it's okay, or butt your rifle. That's considered non-lethal. Rubber bullets. Now we have rubber bullets and things like that, which are considered non-lethal, but that's okay. Non-lethal, well, whatever. But the point that it becomes lethal depends on the group, the actual protester. you're going to see these, I mean, protesters always have this, and that happens, not on a mass scale. So the tactics evolve. That's why they have their sidearms with them, and in the back of the truck are the long rifles, and all they have to do is send somebody back, and one person everybody online gets their sidearm and gets ready to go hot, stand on line. They send one guy back, out of the line as they close ranks, and then one goes back and grabs 4 rifles and comes back and disseminates them out. And boom, there you go. Yeah, you now have a fully fucking operational, lethal police force in your face. So that can escalate like that quickly. That's what they're waiting on. Here, not so much, but we still have that contingency. And it all depends on the group, on the protest, on the people. And they're waiting to escalate that. That plays into their thing. So Australians, you heard about Ricardo Bossi. How am I saying that right? Bossi, Bosi. Ricardo Bossi. He's a member of the Australian government, and he's been one of the foremost. He's just been speaking out about it, and he's calling it as it is. This is outrageous. This is ludicrous. What you guys are doing, calling for lockdowns and all this and mandates from vaccines. This is criminal, and he's calling them out. And he's finally came out and said, "Look, this is a fight for the world. This is a war of the world." It is. And we don't see it because we're not a part of it. We are a part of it because we're participating in it. Our government, our resources, our military, our administration, our money, our tax dollars are being funded or used to be funded to help this Aukus thing. And that's where I'm going to get to. The Aukus, the triad, all right? They want younger brother to get whipped into submission. And the way you do that is to not feed his ass and tell him to get in line with older brothers here, in the UK and the Australians. And don't worry, you'll get to fight. But first you gotta do what we say. So it's this whole authoritative, lockdown, this authoritative training that we're receiving. We have to be a little bit older to a little bit older and a little bit more whipped to get into that. But it seems like the older I get, the more rebellious I get. So I don't know if we're gonna fall in lockstep with that or not. But see the point. That's it. Operation Lockstep. All these countries get into lockstep. So we have the AUKUS, right? And there's going to be, they've already factored in, there's going to be protests, there's going to be demonstrations, there's going to be maybe even a civil war. They've factored that in. So after that is the growing pains. Then they come in and build back better. And now everybody's in Operation Lockstep. And now they can go after the real enemies of their plan. See, we're not the real enemies. We think we're special. We think Americans, we think we're special. Australians, we think we're special. British, we think they're special. Okay, everybody thinks they're special. This is all against it. No, it's not. We're just pawns in the game. You'll see here in a minute. It takes the alliance, the AUKUS, to fight the true rebels of the world. And you're going to be shocked. It's China and Russia and their alliances. Think about it. Iran, China, Russia, communist countries, Middle Eastern countries, all the Slavic nations, all the Asian countries like Vietnam and Laos and all that, Okinawa, China, Japan even. Japan is kind of on the they're on the fence. They could go either way. They've had a lot of they've had a lot of help and influence from the West. So it's definitely an East meets West war. All right, Europe's not even a factor. They don't even factor. Europe does not even factor. It's already fallen. Europe has already fallen. They're in lockstep. Australia is soon to go in lockstep. They're fighting. That's okay. Canada, yeah, they're in lockstep. You see that whole, and I'm not saying anything bad about it. I understand that because I myself am a Zen kind of person. You know, studied Buddhism and Shaolin and all that for many years, and it's totally affected my life and has given me that Zen like feeling that I have. But there's also fiery Viking blood in me that says, you know, that berserker in me that says, okay, let's go. You know, this is bullshit, and let's bring the axes and spears. I'll show you Zen. I'll show you the color of Zen. But anyway, so the WHO and the Indolo, whatever, this new fucking, the new world sandwich. yeah, the World Sandwich Consortium, which is, you know, Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, all those guys. And they're not even, you know, the Georgia Guidestones, the what do you call those guys, and the Hoot Owls from the Skull and Bones, all these guys, all these motherfuckers, you know, they've been working and compiling and infiltrating for many years, probably longer than this country has been alive. So you see what we're facing. And basically the crown is right in. It could be, the crown could be the top, or it could be the general, you know, the facilitator for all this, you know. Who knows how far this goes? You know, maybe it's some freaking cabal somewhere, sitting somewhere in some third world country in his mansion, just going, this is great. You know, I destroy the whole world by letting the world destroy themselves. And so that's what they're doing. That's the plan, is the Aukus fights the true rebels, the Russians, the Chinese, the Iranians, who have, for the longest time, since their conception, have always done their own fucking thing. And said, to hell with you, we'll make our own rules. We're not going to play by the world rules. And so, you know, if you look back... excuse me. Here. I know, I didn't give you your treat, did I? Because I didn't go nowhere. I didn't go nowhere. Ha ha ha. Oh, yeah, good girl. So that's it. That is it. And as soon as the true rebels are taken out, then the dystopian nightmare can begin. The brave new world can be ushered in. Because there'll be no resistance. There'll be none. There'll be nothing. That's their plan. It's, you know, what they don't realize. They overlooked that whole rebellious nature of humanity. To be free. That urge to be free. They overestimated that one. Yeah. To be able to enslave everyone. Yeah, they're playing a psychological game with us, where they give and take, give and take, give and take, and it's a slow breakdown. And we, as a young country, 245 years old, 246 years old, yeah, 246 years old, we get to see these other countries that are thousands of years old, how they have been broken down through a succession of pressure, of the whole thing about the pot, you know, the frog in the pot of boiling water. You know, they turn up the heat, the Frog tries to jump out. They turn down the heat and just turn it down and gradually turn it up until you don't realize that the water is getting hot, and you're slowly getting acclimated to it, and you don't think anything's wrong until finally you succumb and you're cooked, and somebody picks you out and eats you. So, yeah. You want to boil that's how you boil a frog and eat him without him knowing about it. That's their plan. And they get off on that. They get off on that. It's very sad and sick things that is, they want atrocities, they want demorality, total debaucherism to be mainstream and norm, for it to be, oh, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay to see some freaking, trend. I don't want to bust on people like that, but it's okay to see a freak walking down the street. It's okay to see, when I say freak, I digress. It's okay to see a gay pedophile psychopath in charge, in an authority figure. Sparkle socks. Sparkles. Yes, super. Yeah. Super and moist. Anyway, you get my point. Not that anything is wrong with that. That's, homosexuality and that whole thing has been going on for mere thousands upon thousands of years. That's been a part of our humanity and other life forms since the beginning of life forms. So, but for it to be, it's not the norm. It's not mainstream. It's not a normal thing. Okay, it's not the normal evolution of things. It's part of it. But it's being used. It's being used. They want people to be okay with you giving up your children to these bloodthirsty satanic pedophile cults that are in charge, who think they're in charge. They think they're in charge because they're projecting their authority. But they underestimate the people of the world, the humanity of the world, to say that's enough. We're going to stomp you out. That's it. That's it. And it's going to get worse. Yeah, it's going to get worse. I might get a knock on the door. Or it might not. I might just, all of a sudden, everything goes black and I'm gone. These things, they do this anyway. And the biggest weapon we have right now is our voice. That's it. That's our voice. To be heard, to call this shit out, because they work in the darkness until they don't have to anymore. They get you used to it. So this is real. This is absolutely fucking real. I didn't think it would be, but it is. And right now, it's Australia. Australia is fighting the fight. Those people are waking up. True blue Aussies. Oi, oi, oi. They are going at it. She'll be all right? Nah, she won't be all right. No. And they're proving this. So that's, and it's an operation. That's also a test. So they're testing things. They've been planning, all this crap. They think they're super smart, and they've planned all this stuff ahead. And they know that Murphy's Law is going to get in there and fuck shit up. So and they think that they can adapt, change, and overcome faster than we can adapt, change, and overcome, which is not the case. It's not. At one point, we're just going to go, that's it, we're done. We're done with you. We remember you. We know who you are. We know what you said. We know what you didn't say. I'm getting off of the what Mr. The good the good, I don't know what his title is in Australia, but Ricardo Bossi, look to those people. Look to those people in your community. Look to those people in your government, and remember. Did you see that fly? Remember what they said. Remember their reactions to things that happened, and remember what they didn't say, because those are the people that we turn our eye upon. Those are the people that we put in the courts, and those are the ones that are on trial later on, when the smoke clears, when everything goes down. So we can go, all right, Mr. Senator, Mr. this, Mr. that, your Board of Educations, all those people, your municipalities, you're all on notice. You're all on notice. You're all going on the chalkboard. So, they think, and that's their biggest fear, is that they will be seen. They will be recognized, by the people. So, I'm going to try to leave a link below. I'm going to try to find it. I watch a lot of Odyssey and stuff, but Alex Jones, Aussie Cossack, Rebel News, these guys are getting it out, and there's other people as well. There was a lady, journalist, that they imprisoned her for 6 months, solitary confinement. For basically speaking her mind, getting out there as they're having their little press conferences, and she shows up with a sign and goes, "No, this is not right." They finally arrested her and imprisoned her, solitary confinement for 6 months. Check her out. We see what's happening now, the January 6th. 8 months solitary confinement for just going in there. Now, yeah, I get it. There's some of those guys, like the one guy who propped his feet up and drank a beer on Nancy Pelosi's desk. That's some trolling shit right there. But yeah, he's still in solitary confinement. So, don't think that we're all high and mighty and righteous. Our government has been doing some shady fucking shit for a long time. So they're not our friends. It's a new regime. It's a new regime, and if we can get the T-man back in, who's to say that he's going to be compromised as well? I don't know. Who do we trust? Who do we trust up there? It's hard to say. Even the great Rand Paul, with his rants and his fiery rhetoric against all this, he's failed to touch on a few key points that the rest of us know. And so, what's he doing? I don't know. Everybody can be touched. Everybody can be leveraged to a point. There are those that can't, and they die on their convictions. And they stay true to their convictions. They stay true to themselves. That's another thing, and maybe that's something I'll talk about later on. Is the conviction of self, and the idea of pushing and pulling things in your life, which you really don't have any control over, but you do have control of yourself. So, this is not a doom and gloom thing. This is not the end of the world. We never know what the end of the world is going to be. All the volcanoes in the world could just go, that's it, and Mother Nature says, that's it, we're done with humanity for a while. And then, we fight our way back from extinction, which we've done 7 times already. Well, the five mass extinction levels, scientists say we wasn't around for that, but the other 2, we were around for that, and they speculate that at one point there was only 7,000 humans left in the whole world after huge mass extinction. So you know, tomorrow's never promised, is it? It's not up to us, but you know, we're like roaches and we'll survive. We'll find a way. So whatever. But I just wanted to get out there and talk about this, and put this in a kind of mad world perspective, which makes sense to me. And it's not really something that, you know, fear is a necessary thing. Fear is necessary, right? It's an emotion that we've all life forms have it. Most life forms have it. Fear and anxiety of the unknown, and the anticipation of something is worse than the actual event itself. Once the event itself happens, things in your mind just go, oh, and you get to process it a total different way. But if I see a horde of orcs coming with their double axes and spears, and they got blood dripping from their mouth, and you know, there's a horde of them coming my way, and I notice that they're far away, and it's going to take them about 12 hours to get to me. You know, because I've got my little binoculars, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is a unholy army. That's gonna suck. You know, that's worse than them actually coming up to me and making their way to finally face to face the clash. Because your mind plays those tricks of what if, and you go through this and that and this and that, and you just worry yourself to death. And by the time they get up to you, you're just like, oh, well, fuck it. You know, no, never say die, never give in, never stop, never quit. You know, fine. You guys got swords and spears. I got this little knife. Come on. Let's do this. I'm taking somebody out. But you know what I'm saying? And this has nothing to do with you know, military or martial arts or anything. It's who we are as a species, as a primordial freaking being that evolved on this planet. That's it. I mean, we used to fight bears with our bare hands, spears, knives, sticks, stones, bears, and tigers, woolly mammoths. We hunted woolly mammoths almost to extinction. A woolly mammoth is a bad motherfucker. 20 foot tall with tusks that big around that can, you know, render meat from bone and throw a man 50 feet away and crush them, you know, with hide this thick, with hair. And we beat those. We found a way to kill them and to live off of them. So, what is this? I have to worry about some puny little, you know, sap that wears a freaking Vulcan garb with the extended shoulders, you know, doing his little you know, New World Order signs and shit. I gotta worry about these little twerps. I mean, seriously. Who the fuck are you? We are fucking humans. We are Homo sapien, Homo erectus, whatever. Yeah. And we will fight and we will win. Because that's what we do. We're built for this shit. As Bjorn would say, Bjorn Hansen, you know, we're made for this. And he's right. He's fucking right. We're made for this. We're absolutely made for this. So don't be afraid. There's no fear. If you have fear, that's fine. But resist anyway. O taka oktora. You know, resist and defy. Yeah. Somebody's at my door. Probably listening. So, we're gonna. Are they gone, Charity? Yeah, she just stands there. She can hear everything. She can see everything. She can smell everything. Yeah. Hey, you know, it's thin doors here. Yeah. And they can hear people. I've caught people doing that. I'll be walking down the hallway and they'll just be like, listening to somebody's doorway as they're talking on the phone or whatever. And hey, I project, and you know what? I don't care because you guys are listening too. So on this Sunday, day of the sun, Sunvigi, yeah, things look bad. So who cares, right? Who cares? And we'll persevere on this. We'll make it happen. We'll make it work. We've evolved to the point where, we can shrug this off. We can defeat this, and we can carry on with it. We can make a better life for ourselves. It's part of our evolution. Our evolution going up. So I really do have hopes, and I know that we will, the good people of this world will remain free. This kind of thing, this kind of totalitarian, communistic, slavery of mankind and the human race never works. It's been tried many, many times. They never get it right. They think they got it. They think they got it. They think they got the answer, but they just don't understand. They just don't fucking understand. They are denying their primordial animalistic selves. They're doing it. They don't understand. They want to transcend, be transhumanisms. Really? You're gonna put a chip in your head? Okay, that's gonna make you a better human? No. No. Who we are is here. And here. That's who we are. All right. It's not what I see on social media. It's not what I consume, what I see, what I do, what I drive, what I have. It's how I deal. It's how I feel. It's how I become. I am my own person. I am my own God. But that's just me. And we're also ruled by exterior forces. That's what we do, is we adapt, change, and overcome ourselves or our environment because of the harsh environment. So you're going to give me this harsh environment of, world domination, dictatorship, and totalitarianism. Okay, well, I'm going to adapt, change, and overcome. And if we all do that, guess what? You lose. New sandwich makers. The new world sandwich. No, not eating that shit sandwich. Still a soggy one. So, this has been Matt Shad, encouraging you all to continue to train, continue to prep, continue to resist, and I will continue with my readings of certain books for discussion and entertainment and enlightenment. We'll do that later on today. So, yes. Have faith, have hope, and be strong. Because we all know it's a mad, mad world out there.